Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Afiqah NADZIRAH BINTI Ariffin. I am a final year student of Bachelor of Science in Applied Chemistry. In this video, I will be presenting about my final year project entitled A Review on the Sulfur Removal of Coal by Peroxyacetic Acid, which was supervised by Madam SYARIFAH, NURSYIMI, AZLINA, SYED, ISMAIL. This project was divided into 4 chapters. They are Introduction, Research Questions, Literature Review, and Conclusion and Recommendation. Firstly, in Chapter 1, I will talk about the background of the study. Coal is an element that is important for the energy landscape and the development economy in China, and the amount of coal in high-quality coal is decreasing over the years, but high-sulfur coal is still available in large amounts. However, coal combustion will contribute to environmental and ecological consequences, especially air pollution such as haze and acid rains. This is because coal combustion will produce sulfur products, which is sulfur oxides. The desulfurization of coal can be affected by different parameters. In this general review, I will be focusing on 3 factors. They are temperature, reaction time, and PAA concentration. Why do I choose this topic? This is because coal combustion will generate sulfur dioxide. Sulfur dioxide has the acidic property which can cause acidic rain after it has been released to the atmosphere. Acidic rain will initiate the river and lake pollution, which then will affect the water quality, marine life, and also cause severe damage to the buildings in long time period. Sulfur dioxide gas exposure is also dangerous to human health where it might cause bronchitis and conjunctival inflammation. Therefore, removing sulfur from coal is essential in reducing these problems. Studies and research were carried out to have a deeper understanding in developing the most suitable method that satisfies all parties in terms of the cost and the needs to conserve the environment for a better future and lifestyle. The objective of conducting this study is to study about the chemical desulfurization of coal by using peroxyacetic acid, which is PAA, and to identify the effect of concentrations, temperature, and processing time on the desulfurization of coal. Research questions can help us to have better understandings, and my research questions are: how is coal formed and what are the types of coal? What is the definition of coal desulfurization? How PAA can help in the process? What step or technique that can be done to the sample pretreatment procedure to increase the percent removal of sulfur from coal? And what are the factors affecting the rate of sulfur removal? Okay, moving on to the 3rd chapter. In the literature review section, I will start with the introduction to coal. What is coal? Coal is a form of rock that is usually black or brownish with black sedimentary color. It is combustible since it contains high percentage of hydrocarbons and carbon. Coal is mainly used in the production of coke for iron smelting processes and power generation process for social development. In the class of energy, coal can be grouped as non-renewable energy. This is because the process of coal formation can take up to million years to be obtained. In this slide, I will talk about the formation of coal processes. The coal will be formed in the swampy wetlands areas that contains plant matter such as ferns, vines, shrubs, and algae. The dead plant matter will be accumulated on the surface of the ground. The bacteria will decompose the organic matters and produce methane and carbon dioxide. After it has been decomposed, it will become buried into the soil and it will no longer get exposed to the air. So, another decomposition process will be done by anaerobic bacteria and it will produce peat. This process is called as peatification and it will produce a few meters of partially decayed plants. There are 4 levels that will be involved for the coal to be formed. These stages are affected depending on the conditions of the plants that were remaining and buried, and it can be affected by heat and pressure. The higher the heat and pressure, the higher the rank of the coal. The high-ranking coal are denser, less moisturized, and it have higher heat value compared to the lower-ranking coal. The first one is peat coal. The characteristics of peat coal can be easily recognized as they are soft, spongy, and fibrous. Peat also contains high amount of moisture, and a drying process of peat needs to be conducted before using it. This makes peat to be rarely used as heat source. After that is lignite. Lignite can be found in many places, and it is always used as an alternative option when a more efficient fuel is unavailable. The third one is bituminous coal. Bituminous coal or soft coal is widely used in industrial activities as the source of energy. And lastly, the anthracite coal. It is hard and has high luster that it is known as hard coal. Anthracite is formed due to the combination of high temperature and pressure. There are two types of sulfur found in coal. They are inorganic and organic sulfur. The inorganic sulfur usually existed in the pyrite form. It presents as particle form to be mixed with the coal structure. Hence, there will be a presence of a small percentage of sulfate sulfur. On the other hand, the organic sulfur usually involve the organic functional groups such as thiophene, thiol, and thioether. All of these organic macromolecule structures will be using hydrogen bonds and covalent bonds to be connected to the coal basic structural units. With the sulfur molecules connected to the coal structural units in chemical way, the process of removing organic sulfur from coal will be harder compared to coal desulfurization, which involve inorganic sulfur. There are several types of desulfurization of coal methods. There are physical, chemical, and biological desulfurization. The example of physical desulfurization processes are gravity and magnetic separation, oil agglomeration, and flotation. This method is commonly used to remove pyritic sulfur and sulfatic sulfur, but it is not efficient in the removal of organic sulfur. For chemical desulfurization, it is usually linked with the chemical leaching such as acid leaching and alkaline leaching, and the chemical extraction processes. Organic sulfur removal can be done easily with this technique because the oxidation processes, with the aid from reagents such as PAA or strong alkali solution, will increase the percentage of sulfurs, sulfoxides, and sulfones in the oxidized forms. Next is the biological techniques such as microbial desulfurization, which is also an effective method for organic sulfur removal. However, this technique is not suitable as the leaching time is too long. The removal of inorganic sulfur is easier, and it can be done by using both physical and chemical methods. This is because the inorganic sulfur structure is not chemically bonded to the coal structural unit, and the stability of the inorganic sulfur is lower than the stability of the organic sulfur. The organic sulfur can be removed by using the chemical and biological desulfurization method. However, due to the longer time needed and strict conditions for the reaction to occur, biological desulfurization does not suit the need of industrial productions. The peroxyacetic acid can act as oxidation reagent in the process of chemical desulfurization. This is because the PAA will produce hydroxyl cations, which is a strong electrophile, and so a chemical reaction between hydroxyl cations and sulfur atoms will occur because hydroxyl cations are more nucleophilic compared to the carbon atoms. There are also pretreatment processes that can be conducted to assist sulfur removal processes. For example, heat the sample for 1 hour under nitrogen atmosphere in the furnace and microwave irradiation method. As I said earlier, this review is focusing on 3 factors and processing temperature is one of it. Different leaching temperatures were set by previous researchers. The temperatures are 25, 50, 55, and 85 degrees Celsius. When temperature is increased from 25 degrees Celsius to 55 degrees Celsius, the amount of pyritic, organic, and total sulfur were observed to be reduced. As the temperature is increasing to 85 degrees Celsius, there are still some positive feedbacks regarding the rate of desulfurization process. However, since 85 degrees Celsius was too near to the boiling point of PAA, it had caused the PAA to be decomposed. The reduction in hydroxyl cations and the sulfur atoms chemical reactions which resulted in reduction of sulfur removal had been observed. This table shows the detailed result in percentage removal of sulfur that was affected by processing temperature. Another factor that is affecting the rate of sulfur removal is leaching time. Different leaching time was set. The time that has been set was 30, 60, 90, and 120 minutes. Around 30 minutes, there was a significant increase of the total sulfur removal to 35.86%. When the reaction time was at 60 minutes, the percent removal of total sulfur was 46.96%. An increment of the total sulfur removal to be 61.36% at 90 minutes of processing time was also recorded. But after 90 minutes of reaction time, there was no dramatic changes recorded as the total sulfur reduction had only increased to 62.51% at 120 minutes reaction time. This table shows the percentage of sulfur removal that has been affected by reaction time. In another study, the reaction time that was set for the experiments were 220 and 120 minutes. The desulfurization method in this study had been assisted by ultrasound extraction and microwave irradiation. The results of this study can be seen in the table that has been attached in the next slide. This table shows the result of the study conducted that involved desulfurization method of coal by using PAA. Next is the effect of concentration towards the rate of desulfurization of coal. The concentrations that have been set in this study was 2.5, 5, 10, and 15%. This experiment had been done on two types of coal, which is Baragolai and Ledo coal. The results shown indicated that the percent reduction of total sulfur content were increased due to higher concentration. This table shows the concentration of PAA and sulfur distribution in Baragolai coal. And this table shows the concentration of PAA and the sulfur distribution in Ledo coal. In another research, the concentration of PAA in this experiment was in a ratio of 1 to 5 volume over volume of acetic acid to hydrogen peroxide. This PAA solution was added to the coal sample with the ratio of 1 to 3 gram per milliliter of coal sample to PAA, and the sulfur distribution of coal are observed to be reduced. The percent removal of organic sulfur content that had been recorded was 20.09%, pyritic sulfur by 33.33%, and sulfatic sulfur by 30%. As for the conclusion, what I can conclude from this journal review is, first, there are a few types of coal desulfurization method that can be done, and they are physical, chemical, and biological desulfurization. The chemical desulfurization was chosen due to the efficiency in removing both organic and inorganic sulfur. After that, PAA had proven to be effective and efficient in increasing the rate of sulfur removal in coal. Then, there are also sample pretreatment methods that are useful as an assistant, which includes sample heating process or microwave irradiation methods. In addition, the factors that are affecting sulfur removal from coal, such as temperature, reaction time, and concentration, were discussed in this journal review. And last but not least, the suggested parameters that is suitable to achieve optimum outcome of coal desulfurization are at 55 degrees Celsius, 90 minutes with 15% of PAA concentration. That is all for me. Thank you very much.